Hey everyone, welcome back to Frederik Today. I'm your host, Frederik van Leerde, and today we're diving into a question that many founders dread. How do you pitch to investors when you don't have an MVP? Now, if you're working in deep tech, where things take time, serious funding, and often feel like solving a Rubik's Cube underwater, this is especially tricky. But it's not impossible. In this episode, we'll explore exactly how you can make your case and get investors on board when all you've got is a big idea, a strong team, and a roadmap. And hey, if you're in a rush or just curious about specific parts of today's topic, check the episode description. We've outlined each section so you can skip straight to what interests you most. Let's start with what I think is the most important piece of the puzzle: selling the problem. Here's the thing. Investors aren't actually buying your product right now, especially if it doesn't exist yet. What they're really buying into is the problem you're solving. Think about it. If the problem isn't big, urgent, or costly enough, why would anyone care about the solution? So here's what you do. You frame the problem in a way that's impossible to ignore. Use real data, compelling examples, and vivid storytelling. For instance, let's say you're working on quantum encryption. Don't just say, "We're building better encryption." Instead, paint a picture. Explain how outdated encryption puts billions of dollars and sensitive information at risk daily. When you sell the problem hard, you've already got their attention, and that's half the battle. Alright, so once the problem is clear, the next challenge is explaining your solution without overwhelming your audience. This is where a lot of founders get stuck. You don't have a working product, and deep tech is, well, deep. It's complex. But here's the key. Don't explain everything. Instead, focus on simplifying the core idea. Use analogies or visuals to make it click. For example, if you're working on molecular-level diagnostics, you might say, "We're building the equivalent of GPS for the human body, technology that can map molecular activity with unprecedented precision." That one sentence is memorable, and it gets the point across. Oh, and if you have mock-ups, concept designs, or even just flowcharts, bring those in. Visuals can make something abstract feel real. At this point, you've sold the problem, you've explained the solution, but now comes the real test. Can you show that this is achievable? This is crucial. Without an MVP, investors need to see that you have a clear and credible plan to get there. Think of your roadmap as your product for now. Break it down into stages: proof of concept, prototype, pilot testing, and tie each stage to milestones. For example, say something like, by Q2 2025, we'll complete a proof of concept. By Q1 2026, we'll pilot with industry leaders. This $2 million round will fund the first milestone and de-risk the second. It's not about dazzling them with speed. It's about showing them you know exactly how to get from A to B. Next, let's talk about the one thing that can make or break your pitch, especially when you don't have a product yet: you and your team. When you don't have a product to showcase, the investors are really betting on the people behind the idea. You need to prove that you and your team are the right people to pull this off. Here's how. Highlight your experience, your technical skills, and your network. If you've got a technical co-founder who's been working in this field for years, make sure to spotlight their expertise. And if you don't have a long track record, lean on the credibility of your advisors or early collaborators. It's all about building confidence. Alright, we've talked about the problem, the solution, the roadmap, and the team. But there's one more piece of the puzzle: timing. Investors will ask, even if they don't say it outright, why hasn't this been solved before? Or why is now the right time? You've got to show them that the timing is perfect. Maybe there's a new breakthrough in technology, a regulatory shift, or growing market demand that makes your solution possible right now. For example, if you're in AI, you might point to advancements in data availability or computing power that make your approach uniquely feasible today. Timing is often what separates the visionary ideas that succeed from the ones that just feel too early. So, to wrap it up, here are the key takeaways. 1. Sell the problem hard. It's the foundation of your pitch. 2. Your team and your roadmap are the real MVPs. Make them shine. 3. Simplify your deep tech innovation into something clear, tangible, and memorable. Remember, pitching without an MVP isn't easy, but it's doable if you approach it with strategy and clarity. And hey, If you want to revisit any specific section from today's episode, check the description. We've timestamped everything so you can skip to the parts you care about most. As always, thanks for tuning in to Frederik Today. I'm Frederik van Lierde, and I'll see you next time. If this episode helped you, share it with someone who's grinding through their own startup journey. Let's help each other win.